Hey everyone, thanks for listening to Michigan's Legends and Haunts. Make sure you follow us on social media so you get updates about the show. Melissa, where can they find us?
You can find us at facebook.com/mysterious.mila and instagram.com/mysterious.mila. And don't forget, if you like the show, please consider becoming a patron on Patreon.
You can find us at patreon.com/mysteriousmila. Don't forget to follow us wherever you listen and to rate us on Apple Podcasts. Welcome, and thank you for joining us on this week's episode of Michigan's Legends and Haunts. Today, we have a relatively longer episode for you talking about all the water creatures of the Great Lakes.
Welcome. What is that? To Michigan's Legends and Haunts.
Water creatures of the Great Lakes. So you told me earlier that this freaks you out.
Yeah, I don't like water, first of all. I can swim, but I don't want to. No, it's not that. It's deep water scares the absolute shit out of me.
Really?
Yeah. It's not even like a drowning thing. It's like not being in control, I think. Like, if I can't touch the ground or know where the ground is, like, I don't want to be anywhere near it. So, the thought of what else is down there?
I was going to say, I mean, if you're in the deep water of the Great Lakes, you may be standing on something, but it's probably not the ground.
Oh, no. Thank you. I don't like that.
So, it is said that there are many, many water creatures living in the Great Lakes. Now, these range from physical creatures to spirit creatures. A lot of them kind of originate from the Native Americans that inhabited the land at one point. So, the creatures we're going to be talking about, and I cannot guarantee that I'm going to pronounce these correctly. Probably not. But we've got Mishipishu. I don't know. Mishipishu. Which is a spirit creature. And there's a little bit about that and another physical creature that sometimes gets confused. There's Mishi Jinabig. I'm not sure. Also a spirit creature. There is Pressy, the Lake Superior monster. Now that's a physical creature. And we will only be touching on Pressy a little bit in this episode because Pressy gets her or his own its own episode. And then we've got mermaids and mermen. So first up, we've got I knew I was going to fuck this up. We've got Mishipishu. So do not confuse Mishipishu with Pressy. Sometimes, now Mishipishu is related to Pressy in a way. However, it is not the same creature. Pressy is a physical creature, while Mishipishu is a spirit creature.
Oh,
of the Ojibways.
Okay.
Yes.
Are they in the same area? Aren't they?
Same area.
Okay.
Yeah. So most of the information that you find if you do your own research will say that they are the same creature, but ancient Native American petroglyphs in the rocks of northern Michigan tell a different story. Yes. The two, however, are said to guard the same areas. So Mishipishu, or water panther in English, was said to guard the copper. So a lot of people don't know is northern Michigan was huge for copper at one point. Not so much anymore, and we'll get into that. Michi Island was its home. Location northwest of Sault Ste. Marie, owned by the province of Ontario, Canada. So we're kind of branching out a little bit outside of Michigan, but that's okay. Michi Pishu was said to have curved horns on its head, a serpent-like tail, and dagger-shaped spines down its back.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
And I will also post on Instagram the pictures, because there are pictures of the petroglyphs. Pretty interesting. Michi Pishu guarded Lake Superior as a whole, but specifically the chunks of pure copper that were moved into the area by the glaciers. The copper has since been mined and moved to an unknown location. So, who knows? Local members of the Ojibwe tribe considered it strictly taboo to take the copper in the 1600s, especially if the copper was removed from Michi Island. It was stealing from Michi Pishu himself. So there are a few stories about Michi Pishu. There's a gentleman by the name of Claude Deblon. He was a Jesuit. There's a lot of words I don't know how to pronounce, but he was a Jesuit missionary, whatever. He told a story of 4 Ojibwe that made a trip to Michi Island to take copper back to the tribe to use it to heat water. On their journey back from the island, their canoe heaping with chunks of copper, they could hear from behind them the sound of Michi Pishu screaming at them, accusing them of stealing from him. All 4 men died mysteriously, the last of the 4 clinging to life long enough to warn the others in the village.
That's really weird.
Yeah. So.
That's really weird. Really weird.
Yeah. So now we're skipping ahead from the 1600s to the 1840s. About 240 years, roughly. So as white settlers, white people problems, moved into Michigan in the 1840s, a copper rush began as people began to realize its value and assumed it was theirs for the taking in the area of Isle Royale and the Keweenaw Peninsula. Many of the key people involved in the copper rush had mysterious accidents in the area.
I don't know what to believe. This is convincing.
Yeah. 2 ships had accidents and resulted in death for the occupants. In 1877, the steamboat the Cumberland was lost at sea near Rock of Ages Reef on Isle Royale. And in 1885, all I can think of when I hear Rock of Ages is Def Leppard. Yeah.
Yes.
And in 1885, the Algoma was caught in what was said to be a storm and resulted in the deaths of 45 of the ship's occupants. 4 lighthouses, which are still standing today, were built on Isle Royale intended to help avoid Michi Pishu. Overall, 10 ships have been lost near Isle Royale, with many more having serious accidents nearby. So now we're going to move in, because that's really like all the information I have on Michi Pishu.
Yeah. Not
a whole lot. A lot more than I have on Michiginabig, if that's how you pronounce it. So on Michiginabig, whatever. I can't figure it out. Gina? Gina Big? Michiginabig.
No.
Oh, man.
That's not it.
The Ojibwe tribes of the area also told stories of another horned serpent, Michiginabig, which was also said to guard the copper. The book, The Ojibwe Narratives, described the creature as having, quote, immense antlers and was as big as the largest pines, end quote. So again, this is another spirit creature. This is not a physical creature.
And they're bad? They're killing people?
They're killing people, but they're protecting the copper, is what they were said to do. The copper up there.
All right.
Yeah. Michi Pishu and Michiginabig often get confused, but the Michiginabig is often portrayed a large sea serpent while Mishi Pishu is often portrayed as having legs. So they are two separate entities. Reportedly, Mishi Jinabig was spotted in the 1800s by the Ojibwe tribes. Now, I'm not Indian. I mean, I have a little bit of Blackfoot in me, but not that much. So if it's a spirit creature, how do you see it? How is it spotted? Or is it just they were just high on ayahuasca and they were just fucking hallucinating?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, I don't know about spirit creature. I mean, granted, the tribes, the Native American tribes, were pretty spiritual people, right? Right.
So,
but I don't know. I don't feel like I don't really think it's. It's really hard for me to wrap my head around that. I don't know.
So it's really interesting when we get to Pressy.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with Depressied. Because there are actual photos.
Right.
So
I know.
Yeah. Oh, did you look it up?
Yeah. I did.
So spotted in the 1800s, it was reported by the tribe that there was a flash of lightning assumed to be Mishi Jinabig's arch enemy, the Thunderbird, which swooped down, pulled Mishi Jinabig out of the water and up into the air where it finally disappeared. So here's where I'm confused. Is the Thunderbird also a spiritual creature?
Yeah, it sounds like it's all just some made up stuff. Like, I don't know. I really don't know. No, I don't think it's a real thing.
Okay.
I don't.
And you can try to debunk it if you want.
I can't, like,
but you
I just
can't.
can't.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
It's convincing, but at the same time, like a big ass spirit. I don't know.
So we'll move on.
Spirit creature.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting, but I don't really think it's real.
So what about mermaids and mermen? I mean, I've seen the Disney classic, The Little Mermaid. And she seemed pretty real.
Yeah, that's called makeup.
Yeah.
And the CGI.
Yeah.
Yeah. She seemed pretty real.
Yeah. So mermaids and mermen. This is also based on stories from the Ojibwe narratives. It was said that the mermaids and mermen would inhabit the shores of Michipicoten Island, also guarding the copper. There's not a ton of information on the existence of mermaids and mermen in the waters of Lake Superior. But seeing one of them was said to mean that someone in your family was about to die.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not like the movies at all.
No. No, she just wanted to be a real girl with legs and marry, what's his name? Hold on one second. I didn't look this up before. And I'm curious if there's any pictures.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Like photographic evidence. Because the stories come from the Ojibwe narratives. So, and of course, there is not. There are a lot. Well, there's this.
That's nice.
Oh, it's a pin about male mermaid and merman tails on studs with tails.
Okay.
Dude, there's a whole Pinterest board of studs.
What if we just stumble?
What? That is awesome. Oh, Dudoir. That's Dudoir.
Yes. A merman.
Oh, wow.
That's good.
We just stumbled upon some gold. Melissa, you're a photographer.
Yeah. Do you want to wear a...
Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah. We're going to do this.
Okay.
All right. So that's all we have on the mermaid and mermen. Now, as I said, Pressy is getting its own episode. So we're going to move on. We're kind of moving out of the Great Lakes at this point.
Wait, do you think mermaids are real?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't
know
know anything. I feel like I know nothing.
Yeah.
This is making me... No.
This is making you smart?
No. That's why I was like, no. See, I'm losing brain cells. I'm just so confused about it all. I don't know. But you know what? There's probably like there's mutations. There's genetic mutations. I don't know. I don't really believe that there's people that are mermen like swimming through the lakes
that guard the copper.
Right. No. But
I mean, there's a reason they're mythical creatures.
Yeah, at some point in time, there might have been like somebody that had something weird about them that was like different from everyone else. And,
right.
You know, like the movies.
Well, and there have been reports of people, like babies, born with
gills.
Born with gills? That's not where I was going.
What were you gonna say?
Their feet like fused together. It looked like a flipper.
No, I bet, I don't know, some weird ass mutation.
Yeah. Some people are born with tails
fused together. Yeah, that's true. You never know. There might be a fucking merman somewhere.
Okay, so we're gonna move out of the Great Lakes. This was supposed to be a 2-part episode, but I think we're moving right along, so we're just going to make this one episode, make it a little bit easier for our listeners, since we are every other week on urban legends or haunted places now. Which, if you have missed it, we have added true crime, Michigan true crime, to our roster. So, water creatures of Michigan, we've got the Machi Manitou, which I interpret as a shapeshifter, and the Lake Leelanau monster, and we've also got the sea monster of the Straits. You're giving me a look.
I just don't buy any of it. I don't know. Really? I don't know. A shapeshifter?
Well, let's dive right in. No pun intended.
Yeah. Good one.
The Machi Manitou is yet another Ojibwe legend. So there's a reason that these are legends.
Oh, yes, of course.
Yeah.
But...
well, yes, of course. There is a reason that these are legends. You are absolutely right, Steve. And...
continue.
Why, yes. So the Machi Manitou, possibly a shapeshifter.
Stop.
Considered to be an evil spirit, can appear as a merman or a water serpent. Pictographs on the shores of Lake Superior, or petroglyphs, can be found on the rocks of this entity as well. So, interesting. I will post those up on our Instagram. This is said to be a cousin to Mishi Pishu and Mishi Jinabig. Many naysayers say it's just an oversized sturgeon or catfish. Not too much information. So again, yes, of course, it's a Ojibwe legend. Yes, I understand that.
No, I think that there's probably something that made these people believe these things. You know, I'm not saying they're crazy. They might be crazy. I don't know. But some people say that about ghosts. And I'm a firm believer of ghosts. So, I mean,
you know,
I don't know.
I've often had that thought, and by often I mean in the last 2 months that we've had this podcast, that some of our friends probably think we're just absolutely fucking bonkers.
My mom.
Your mom thinks we're crazy?
Anytime that it's brought up at all, she's just looking at me like, oh, okay.
Does she want to go with us on an investigation?
No, she don't believe in anything.
Does she want to go along with us on an investigation?
No.
She needs to. She'll see some shit.
I know. Yeah.
But, you know, we've seen what we've seen. We've experienced what we've experienced.
Yeah.
And so That's why I'm not focused too much on debunking any of this, just because, number one, it's fucking cold outside, and I'm not about to go up to Lake Superior, the coldest part of Michigan, the coldest lake of the Great Lakes, to try to wait and see if I see anything. So next up, we have the Lake Leelanau monster. There's only one sighting in recorded history of the Lake Leelanau monster, which makes it a little bit even more unbelievable.
Yeah.
But the only recorded sighting was in 1910. Lake Leelanau, a young boy fishing for perch, moved his rowboat to a new area in search of a better spot. He paddled his boat near a small tree approximately 6 inches around and 5 feet in height. This is according to his story. He I guess he would like tell this story like until the day he died.
Okay,
So,
but how young was he? Because
don't know.
I mean,
Right.
my young daughter could make up a whole lot of. I yelled at her.
It's a monster. Yeah.
She claims her Barbies are the ones that say bad things to her brother. So.
Does she really?
Yeah, I yelled
That's
at her
awesome.
and said, "Don't call your brother stupid." I did it. My Barbie did.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
So
So you're saying that's what I have to look forward to.
yes.
Perfect. Great. I'm excited. So 6 inches around, 5 feet in height, as far as he could see above the water. Depth of the water in the spot was only approximately 7 feet deep. He cast his line out and looked over at the tree to find two eyes staring at him. The two stared at each other for a while when suddenly the creature retreated into the water. He remembered the length of the creature by the fact that the head was at one end of the boat and the tail at the other end. So I don't know, like, how big is this boat that he's in? It's a rowboat, so it can't be too big.
Okay. Well, I mean, it could have been anything, right? Like
The only thing that, I don't know. And you're right.
He just saw eyes and that
Yeah.
it was long.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's a long time for that story to carry on.
Yeah. Yeah. So the encounter scared him so much that he stayed off that lake for years to come. Over the years, he had run into many others who would admit to him that they too had an encounter, but they would never admit it publicly.
You know what? Now, I kind of believe that one. Like you said that's harder to believe because there's only one encounter, but that's easier to believe than a giant ass like sea creature.
A shapeshifter? Or
or
a spirit creature?
yes.
Yeah.
That. Yeah.
So but could that have been an oversized snake or, a giant
he was
snake?
a kid,
Yeah.
right? Seeing something, his eyes could have played tricks on him even. Like,
Yeah.
he didn't actually see anything besides eyes and that there was something in the water, which is not that easy to see when you're in a lake.
Right.
So.
So, last but not least, we have the Mackinac Straits sea monster. I don't know what that was. Owner of a resort in 1976. This is actually relatively recent history.
Yeah.
In Sheboygan, spotted two creatures about 45 feet in length swimming through the Straits of Mackinac on Lake Huron. Spotted by the owner of the resort and the county sheriff actually saw it too, but no description is available other than 45 feet in length.
40. Oh.
Which,
wow.
yeah, okay. I'm not a good judge of length, and I'm not saying that everybody is the same. Don't even. The joke. I saw the look. I saw the look in your eyes.
Okay.
But how do you just look at something swimming through the fucking water and you're like,
That's about 45 feet.
like, I don't know. And it was said that any minor disturbance on the shore seemed to spook the creature away. Has not been spotted since.
Okay.
So,
Well, maybe there's there's monsters in the sea. We just don't really know about it for some reason.
We live pretty inland.
Yeah.
So we're not near the water very much. I mean, I basically grew up on Lake Huron. I spent every summer up there. I never saw anything weird.
Well, I feel like there are a lot of unexplained things. So, who knows? I guess I'm not really one to say that's not real. So, it might be, but I think I would shit myself if I saw something like that. So, I don't know. That's crazy.
Do you want to go swimming?
No.
Do you want to go swimming right now?
No.
It's like 20 degrees outside.
No.
Want to go to Lake Superior?
I like swimming. I just don't like being in lakes freaks me out. And it sucks because I don't want to be lame. Like, I want to go out and have fun and go on a freaking boat and stuff. And I did actually over the summer, but I jumped out and had an instant panic attack and couldn't get back in the boat. And I just should not go near water.
I was going to bring that up, and I was like, no, maybe she wants to just like leave that little tidbit out. But
yeah, no, I was actually, I don't know what lake it was. I was in a lake.
Was it one of the big
north.
lakes? Or was it like an inland lake?
No, it was, no, I don't know what it was. Somewhere north, though. It wasn't, I don't know, a few hours north from here. And, yeah, no, I thought I was going to be ballsy and just be like, I'm just going to jump. I'm just going to do it. And, I got scared as I was stepping off the boat and just like slid all the way down it and then froze as soon as I got into the water because I don't know what's down there. I don't know what's down there. I don't know how deep it is. I don't know if I'm going to like just sink. It just terrifies me. The unknown of deep water and not being able to do anything about it. Just, I don't like that. I got to stay away from it. I just won't have a panic attack. And I could drown. Like, if someone hadn't been there to pull me back up into the boat, I would have just probably drowned.
Oh my god.
With
which one?
I
Which one were you
know.
drowning with?
One of these
Mishi Pichu?
creatures. Yeah.
Well, don't try to steal the copper. You'll be fine.
I don't.
I don't know. We lived drastically different lives. So we used to vacation up in Oscoda.
Yeah.
And I mean, we would stay on one of the inland lakes. Lake. I grew up in that. Like, I spent every summer in that area, and I can never remember the name of this lake. Lake Van Etten.
Oh.
You've been to Oscoda, right?
Yes.
Okay. You know where the Air Force Base is?
No.
Okay, never mind. North of Oscoda, there's an old Air Force base. It's closed down now, and they use it to fly like Boeings and repair them and stuff like that. Boeing like 747s, which is really cool when they take off over Van Etten because they're really freaking low. But either way, I digress. And we would take the boat out to like the deepest part of the lake and just jump off with purpose.
Oh
So we lead like drastically different lives.
Scary. No, I took a swim test through a pond once and failed because halfway through I got scared and just froze up. I can swim. I just get nervous about it. I get in my head. I get anxiety and then I'm like, I don't know how to do anything.
So if we ever take you up north, I'm going to make sure I get you some little arm floaties.
I don't even want to do that. I'll stay where I can put my feet on the ground. No, I'll go to the beach and I'll go in water. But, like, I don't go past, like, where I can touch. If I start getting up to my neck or anything like that,
That gets
out.
scary. Okay, so I will side with you on this. It does get scary, like, in the big lakes.
Yeah.
As you're walking out, because that can literally just go from like, hey, this is at like boob level,
Yeah.
to like,
so you take one step and you're underwater.
and you just drop. Yeah,
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
I
I'll
literally
side with
have
you on that.
like nightmares about deep waters and just like driving and suddenly the road ends and I drive off into like a lake or something.
you have nightmares about that?
Yeah.
Wow. What?
That's my worst. Deep water is my worst fear. Like it's terrifying.
Okay. You know, I've known you my whole life, and I never knew that.
I don't even want to go in a swimming pool if I can't touch. Yeah.
Really?
I'll stay away from the deep end.
Wow.
Freaks me the hell out. So, sea monsters and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
You don't want to fuck with that.
No.
All right, perfect. I think we're good. I think we're good here. So, hope you enjoyed this little discussion here on the water creatures of the Great Lakes. I don't really know what to make of them, but yeah. So we'll see you guys. No, why do I keep saying see?
What else?
I don't know.
I was gonna say.
Join us on next week's episode.